Hello again, it's April here, and I have got a sketchbook tour today, which is a long time coming. I don't think I've done a sketchbook tour for a long time, mainly because it takes me ages to finish sketchbooks these days. This one is a Mossery mixed media sketchbook. I got my name on there and got some little sparkles. It's quite a nice little sketchbook cover. Just first off, going into this, just want to say Mossery, I'm sure lots of people like them. They're fancy, they're customized, you know, the paper's okay, but I really didn't like this sketchbook, and I haven't liked the other ones that I've used. I used the watercolor one for my Inktober last year, and I have another watercolor one that probably won't ever get filled up. Something about them I just don't like. I don't know what it is about them. They look fine. The spiral I really don't like, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like drawing in it, you know? I just wasn't into it, so that's why it took me so long to fill in the sketchbook. But let's get started. So I have delicately hand-placed objects around the sketchbook, so you know that I am an artiste. And let's begin. This one was the 15th sketchbook that I have started in like the last 3 years or something, I don't know. This is my name, my real name, my number, if you guys want to hit me up, 3 AM phone calls in the middle of the night. And that's my fake name, monkeymintaka. So I started this on the 23rd of September and finished it 5th of July. So you guys probably seen a lot of Mossery sketchbooks online. They come with a whole bunch of useless pages that I don't fill out because that's not my jam or my marmalade. I'm sure it would help some people, but don't want to be filling all that out. It's a sketchbook, not a notebook. This is the first page, and I actually did this as a video a while ago. It was called First Page, Last Page, where I did like 2 little portraits that mixed together in 2 different sketchbooks, which I thought was quite cute. Okay, and then we start Inktober. So I was going to do my Inktober in this book. So this is me testing the page out, and I realized it's a little bit wobbly. So I did it in my watercolor one instead of this one. So literally just Inktober swatches there. And now we move on to the first and last time I ever used oil pastels. These are really old. I found them, I think they were Martins, and I found them in my drawer, and I decided to like try and draw sweaters. Really messy, not really my thing. So yeah, I never did that again. This is probably my favorite page in the sketchbook. Is when I did my mushrooms. I did like a little mushroom hunt, and I took a whole bunch of photos and I drew these. This is definitely my favorite sketch in the book, just because when I first started, I did these and I really hated them, and as I kept drawing I kind of like got into my groove and got more used to the colored pencils, and by the end I just really loved this spread. This is when I first got my Acrylagouaches and some little narwhals. This is really weird. This is like so cartoony and not really kind of my style, but I just wanted to draw some narwhals because I love them. And I think this is probably like the last time I used both sides of the page, just because I really hate drawing. Like, it's painful, I just don't like it. And I love doing double page spreads in sketchbooks, which is one of the reasons I think I don't like this sketchbook, just because I find it so difficult to do. So I believe these are Hector's dolphins. I think I did like an endangered week on Instagram, so I did like an endangered animal each day. So this is obviously a tiger. I quite like how that turned out, actually. This is a sea turtle. I can't remember the name of the sea turtle, but it could be Henry. I'm just joking. I don't know what the name is, but yeah, it's probably Henry. And I think I did this with inks. Yeah, Ecoline inks. It's quite a nice texture there. And then this is when I did a little video, and it was a draw this again, so I wanted to see how my style had changed. This was the first face, and then I drew it again, because I thought this was too cartoony, so I drew it again on this page, but I actually prefer this one. I think I want to draw more like this. I don't know. Sometimes I kind of flip between wanting to be more realistic and wanting to be more cartoony. It's this internal struggle in my brain. This is when I think I was doing something on the Cricut, and I had like all of these circles here, like little, like from the sticker paper. So I stuck it in and I did these dots, and I actually became quite obsessed with doing dots in the background. I quite like this sketch, apart from I think her eyes are a little bit too close together. You might have seen this on one of my videos. It's a I'm Feeling Lucky, where I went to Hong Kong Island on Google Maps and painted the scenery. So updating my swatches because I got some new swatches. Can we just appreciate how glowy that pink opera is? It's crazy. I love it. It's like my favorite color. This is when I did the my prompt madness, which I have on my phone. It's like a little app that my boyfriend made for me, and it tells me what to draw. So I did some mailboxes, and these actually turned into little stickers that I'm selling in my shop now, just with little mailboxes around the world. And I think this is a really cool color combo too, the orange and the grey and the mint. It's quite nice. Random kiwis, a page of kiwis. I'm actually allergic to kiwis, so I can't eat them. It makes me really sad because I used to eat them when I was a kid, and then I became allergic to them later in life. But yeah, that was just like, I don't know. It's not like the best page ever, but just a bit random. I think this is when I was doing like a mark making exercise maybe. I can't quite remember why. I think I was just, maybe had some new paintbrushes and I was just playing around with them. Back to the dots again. This one's a bit crazy. I mean, let's be real. But I do love the use of the opera pink. And then once again, definitely messed up those eyes. This is where I took a foray into landscape painting. Yes. I mean, actually, I thought it was terrible at the time, but looking back, it's not too bad. Another little portrait there using Acrylagouache, and this is using like a technique that I actually really love to use, but it does take forever. And it's where you paint the outlines first in paint, and then you like color the inline, so you can kind of see on the arm here the different variations of the line, and that's because I kind of like have painted over the blue line. It does take a long time, but I actually really love the look of it. This is another I'm Feeling Lucky, where I painted all the spices in my spice drawer. And actually, this is really handy because sometimes I run out of spices and I forget which ones I need. I can just look back at this one and say, oh yes, cumin. Actually, it's not that helpful because it just literally says R and B and G, but there you go. This is a Ruth Wilshaw tutorial that I took from her YouTube. Quite like this one actually. It was a, whoops, delicately placed pencil getting in the way there. It's meant to be a rainy day scene. My paintbrush lines, like I'm very heavy handed with them, so it didn't really come out as skinny as I would have liked. This one I did not too long ago actually, getting more into the present now. I drew this and I actually put it on Instagram, I think just in my stories, I can't remember, but I'll pop the images up if I can find them, where I took a few of my friends on Instagram their colour palettes when the colour palette challenge was going around, and I recolored this in Procreate. It was probably one of like the most fun exercises I've ever done in Procreate. So yeah, I'll pop them up here. I saw someone painting rainbows on Instagram and I immediately wanted to paint rainbows. They're more difficult than they look. I painted this on the phone when I was talking to Sasha. I remember we were having a little art chat, Sasha Fitzgerald here on YouTube, and I love how this turned out. It's so weird, like with the blue face and the gradient in the background, but I just love how it turned out. Every time I come across this page, I think, yes, April, good job. These are some houses that I painted from a Google Earth like tour that I was doing. I think it's America or Canada or Norway. I mean, one of those places. I did that technique again where I draw the outlines and then draw the inlines again, so you can kind of see the different variations of the lines here. Took forever, but again, it does look kind of cool, I think. I like the effect. This was a late night. I just drew this girl and there was heaps of space around her, so I just like filled it in with doodles. And I quite like this idea actually of the hair coming down to make a jellyfish. I think I might, I don't know, that could be a kind of a cool concept to take further maybe later on. Not sure. And now we're coming right up to the present. So these are all done in the last couple of weeks. I wanted to get this sketchbook done so much. I've been putting it off for ages, so I just kind of rammed through it the last few days. So this beautiful little bird, I don't know what it is. I never remember, I never save my images when I should, but it's a beautiful bird that I found on Pinterest. And just wanted to paint it because it was so colourful. I always do this where I cut off like part of the picture because I put it too wrong on the page. But yeah, I really like it. And then this was literally done. Okay, so now we're up to this weekend. So I did all the next few pages today and yesterday. So first up, we got some chicken doodles. I love these chicken doodles. This one here is my favorite. I like this one too. I just love drawing chickens, and I'm thinking of doing a lot more chickens in the future. So if you guys like chickens, let me know in the comments if you like chickens, because I like chickens. So this is a house that Sasha sent me the reference of on Instagram, and I thought it was really cool, so I drew it. This was when I was kind of like getting to the end of the day yesterday, and I was thinking, I just gotta get through this sketchbook, man. So I could not think of what to paint, and I really loved. See, what I do sometimes is when I have extra paint on my palette, I put it in as backgrounds. So the background was already on here, and I loved this color combo. So I thought, why not just paint the paints? So I did. I just painted the paints. My favorite paint's Acrylagouache. And I did this last night. It's just a little portrait. I'm trying to practice portraits lately and trying to be a little bit more realistic. Quite happy with how this one turned out. I did add some crazy colors with these the graphic line painters. They're really fun. You can kind of use them like watercolor, but they're very staining, so once you put them on, they're kind of like stuck to the page. Yeah, I quite like how it turned out though. This is a cat. Nothing more to say about that really, just a cat. It's quite cute. This page here I didn't really like, didn't turn out very well. I had this gradient on, and I was trying to think of things to draw, and I was using my app. This one here, I need to update it because it's like old school. It's got my old avatar on it, but basically I hit get prompt and it tells you what to draw. So it said sharks, so I had a look on Pinterest for sharks, and I came up with like this really cool image of the hammerhead sharks swimming. So I tried to copy them, but I don't know, I don't think I got some of their shapes wrong. Like the shape here is super awkward, and also as they go more into the blue you kind of lose them. So yeah, it was an experiment, but yeah, don't really like that page. Then we're getting on to the last couple of pages now. So I just literally did these this hour. This is a bunch of patterns that I just decided to do in the little circles, and yeah, I just really like the background color that I had on there because I had painted this in previously and I didn't want to paint over it, so I just thought I'd put in some little patterns. This here is quite interesting actually. It looks a bit random. It's using silver like pen, which I never use, but I got this book by Chris Hadfield. He's an astronaut, and he's got these photos of the world. So I was flipping through it today, and I came across this photo, which is taken of oil and gas sites in New Mexico, and I thought it looked really cool. So I basically tried to kind of copy it almost. So I just painted the background, looks almost camouflage, and then did these crazy patterns. It's a bit of fun. And the last page, it was yes yellow, because I had some spare paint, so I had painted it yellow previously. And I asked Martin what to paint, and he said a snake. So I did it because sometimes when I get really stuck, I just have to take orders because I just have no original thoughts in my brain left anymore. But I actually love how this turned out. I was going to go over with pencil and do more detail, but I really liked how it was, and I basically just painted it in negative space. So kept the yellow, and I think it almost looks like it was printed on there. I don't know. I've never drawn a snake before. It's my very first snake. So that's pretty cool. And that is the end of the sketchbook. So just a quick little look at what wow, these pages do not flip very well. A quick little look, oh, no, there they go, at what I've been drawing for the last few months. So I do have this sketchbook. I also have this sketchbook here, which is my kind of like more sketchy sketchbook. So it's got more ideas in it, more like sketching stuff. I like this one a lot better. Like the paper quality is really crap, honestly, but it lays really nice and flat, and yeah, it's a nice size. So I'm trying to get this one done because I do have a sketchbook in the mail that's coming, and I know that as soon as that gets here I'm going to want to use it. So hopefully this one will be up maybe next month if I can get it done in the month. But I hope that you enjoyed that little sketchbook tour today. Let us know what you're sketching in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.